All right, so big night tonight, so welcome everybody to the 2026 MSDS Graduation Ceremony. So the schedule of the evening is very heavy evening, right? It's for me to say a few words, and then we'll have our guest speaker, who is our alumni, Harshit Rai, here. Then we'll have our two student speakers, Marisa Fujimoto and Ani Steiker. And then we'll have the graduate procession, diplomas, and then at the end, Megan Hazen, the MSDS capstone director, will close with a few remarks. So with that being said, well, I'm extremely happy to be here. It is very inspiring to see this room filled with energy and achievement. You, our students, alumni, our alumni, and your families, industry partners, the program's dedicated staff and faculty. Today, you don't just receive a degree, you officially step into the world as data scientists and join our powerful, ever-growing network of MSDS alumni. Watching your professional growth of the University of Washington has been nothing short of remarkable. This moment is not an endpoint, your graduation, right, but your launchpad of your careers. I have no doubt that each of you will rise quickly in the organizations you will join, driving new successes, earning new achievements, and pushing into new professional frontiers. Just 2 days ago, your capstone presentation made a lasting impression. The quality of your work is extraordinary. You demonstrated real depth and range in your data science abilities, seamlessly blending complex statistical modeling, sophisticated data wrangling, strong software engineering, and deep domain understanding. Mastering multiple core domains in just over a year is an achievement that commands respect, and you have fully earned it. The MSDS program doesn't just teach data science. It prepares you to start immediately as a high-impact data scientist by graduating with a strong foundation in theory and practice that gives you a clear edge with hiring managers and enables you to deliver value from day one, leaving you with a complete toolkit that includes deep math and statistical knowledge, strong computing and engineering skills, and effective presentation and interpersonal abilities so that you are ready to excel in interviews and succeed in your first roles by combining technical expertise with consultative skills to design, build, and deploy solutions to real-world data problems. The MSDS curriculum covers the full data science lifecycle. You learn to handle ambiguity, work with messy data, and iterate towards business-critical insights while simultaneously honing technical execution and communication. Continuous learning is built in, keeping your skills relevant over the years. You offer your new employers a rare combination of broad knowledge, the ability to quickly learn new methods and tools, and the skill to collaborate across teams and disciplines. And as top-tier data scientists, you are now ready to drive impact across tech, finance, pharma, and beyond, having mastered core data science techniques and the ability to design, execute, and deliver complex projects, whether working alone, contributing as part of a team, or leading a team, which is why MSDS graduates are in high demand and why the program is a key source of top-tier data science talent. The MSDS program developed you as a leader as well as a technical contributor. You learn cutting-edge algorithms and technologies, plus how to manage projects, communicate with stakeholders, and deploy models for real business impact. As data and analytics spread across industries, MSDS prepared you to lead, influence, and manage at multiple levels, shaping the future of data-driven decision-making. Data science is about more than math, code, big data, and AI. Its real power lies in how you frame the problem. Is the project set up to succeed? Is it truly a data science project, or are critical data context or prerequisites missing? Are you asking the right questions? Just as a building is only as strong as its foundation and frame, a data science project is only as sound as its data, methods, and problem framing. Get that wrong, and everything else collapses. And there is one more superpower that you hopefully now have: communication. Data science demands strategic communication more than most technical fields. You must be able to explain your project design up front, keep stakeholders aligned with status and progress along the way, and deliver sharp, tailored summaries of your results. Combine those skills, technical mastery, sharp problem framing, and powerful communication, and you are not just practicing data science. You are shaping decision, strategies, and the future organization that you join. I'm certain each of you will carve your own road to success. Your route may look different, but the destination is the same. You will become standout data scientists at companies you are genuinely proud to call your own. So with that being said, I would like to give credit to those who made this program a reality over the years. First and foremost, I would like to thank the staff of our program. Deb Alterman, Director of Program Operations, Megan Hazen, Data Science Capstone Director, Leah Panganiban, Assistant Director of Academic and Student Services, Jess Stranger, Admission Specialist, Patrick Hernandez, Assistant Director of Career and Alumni Services, Jason Sadison, Operations Space Manager. Please, I would like to thank them by giving a big round of applause. It is thanks to their dedication, quality work, and incredible energy, the MSDS program continues to make its way towards becoming a flagship data science program in the US and international. We owe significant gratitude to the members of our Industry Advisory Board. First, I need to acknowledge the amazing contribution of the two co-chairs of the board, Jill Goldschneider and Shuguang Song. The other members of the board are David Afrasius, Michael Brandage, Charles Duzet, Catherine Fan, Arun Gurujan, Tim Hesterberg, Tom Merekis, Amitabh Nag, Joshua Nail, Vinay Rao, Nimisha Sarah, and Connie Young. These data science professionals, who are managers in key organizations, generously contribute their efforts and time to steer the MSDS program in the right direction and to guide our students in their careers. Most notably, I would like to point out that Charles Duzet, Amitabh Nag, and Nimisha Sarah are MSDS alumni. I hope that you will see in them role models that you can follow in the years to come. So I would like to ask Jill to maybe say a few words. Right. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Adrian, and good evening and congratulations to this class. I've had the privilege and honor of working with Adrian on the advisory board since the foundation of the board. We, as a board, are passionate about data science and the growth and change in the program. We are involved in as many aspects of the program as we can be. We help guide curriculum or influence curriculum to make sure that needs in industry have alignment with skills that are needed with the students. We are also involved in a number of programs from Open House, where we come in to help guide and entice students to enter the program, all the way through to the Capstone Project. A number of the industry board members both provide and mentor those projects. Enrichment of the experience is the goal, and preparation as well for your future career. We also are involved with a number of mentoring, coaching, and guiding workshops, and hopefully you've all had a chance to meet a number of us. We always enjoy working with you. We love to hear your stories. We love to support you in your career choice and path, and wish you the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jill. We really appreciate all the work that you do on behalf of our program and for our students. So with that being said, well, I would like to introduce Harshit Rai, who is currently working at Databricks, and I really hope that you will see Harshit as yourselves in the future, in the near future. And so hopefully you are going to see that all this work really pays off. Sometimes effort is needed, but you have that, you have all the skills, and so the likelihood of your success, professional success, is there. It is up for you to take it. So with that, Harshit, please. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Gotta get some water. All righty. Good evening, everyone. To the friends and families, to the faculty, and to the distinguished guests, welcome. Thank you for being here, and thank you to the MSDS program for having me here tonight. Of all the stages that I could be standing on, this one is personal. That's because 2 years ago, I was sitting exactly where these graduates are right now. So to the class of 2026, I know what it took to get here. You pushed through the struggles, the ups and downs, the job market uncertainties, and everything in between. So I'm genuinely thrilled to say, congratulations, you did it. Over the past 18 months, I've had the honor of getting to know many of you. I have been invited to countless parties where I got to know a wonderful group of people. And so I can say this with confidence that you are truly a remarkable group of people. When you started this journey, you stepped into the unknown. Many of you left your families and friends behind and traveled across the world to pursue a dream. Today, it probably all seems like a small thing, but stepping into the unknown took courage. It took a lot of resilience, and it took an unbelievable amount of faith in yourself. So before you move on, take a moment to reflect on everything you have achieved in the past 18 months. Imagine how proud your younger self would be of you today. Imagine how grateful your older self would be that you took this leap. Think about all the friendships you have built. Think about all the lessons you have learned, some the easy way, others the hard, difficult, painful way. But what you will realize is this: your journey today is already someone else's dream. Now let's talk about careers. Many of you have already found your dream job. And to those of you, I say congratulations. That's a huge achievement, and you should be proud of that. There are many of you who are still looking for your job, and to them, I say keep looking, keep going, don't be disappointed. That's because when I graduated 2 years ago, I did not have a full-time offer in hand. But within a span of only 2 months, my whole life turned around. I found exactly what I was looking for, and today I'm exactly where I wanted to be. And I believe, and I strongly believe, that this will be the story for a lot of you. That said, we do need to address the elephant in the room. I'm talking about artificial intelligence. It is undeniable that AI has fundamentally changed the job market. And yes, that brings a lot of uncertainty for you. It also brings a lot of questions for you. But I believe the most important question right now is, what are you doing to stay relevant in the game? So here are 3 skills that have helped me immensely over the past, not just 2 years, but several years. And I hope you can take something useful of this. Skill number 1, know your architectures. Let me repeat, know your architectures. As you already know, AI agents are everywhere, and they are getting really, really good at building things. Software, backend, apps, web UIs, whatnot. But where they consistently fall short is designing complex, secure, and scalable architecture that follows design principles and best practices. And we have already seen that play out in real-world scenarios. Everyone knows the kind of examples I'm talking about. That's the skill that top organizations today are looking to fill. And that right there is your opening. So don't just focus on exploratory data analysis, feature engineering, or machine learning models. Also focus on how your solution as a whole is deployed and it fits into the larger and broader infrastructure. I'm talking about the APIs, the pipelines, the systems it interacts with and connects to. Learn to design reliable systems. Understand that maintaining a system is often more difficult than creating one. And for that, you need a solid architecture. And that's the skill that will set you apart. Skill number 2, stay grounded. It's very common for all of us to chase the next exciting technology. It's also need of the hour. I'm talking about MCP, agents, RAGs, vector search, whatnot. The list is endless. That curiosity is a good thing, and you should definitely keep doing it. You should definitely keep upskilling. But always ask this one question. How does this contribute to the bigger picture? To your career, to the project that you are working on, to the team that you are part of, and to the company that you are with. And always be skeptical. Well, not always, but learn to be skeptical. Not everything that you hear in the AI space, not everything that you see in the AI space is 100% true. Yes, of course, there are genuine breakthroughs that completely change the way we operate and live our lives. But there is also a lot of noise and hype in this field. You must have already seen countless headlines every day about the next big tool or technology that is going to make all the developers, data scientists obsolete. They won't be needed tomorrow. There might be some truth to that, some truth. But don't believe everything that you see and hear. Use your scientific instincts. Pay close attention to who is making those claims, because often devil is in the details. And if possible, I highly recommend this, talk to the people who are outside the tech industry, because they are the ones who will tell you exactly what's working and what is not. The bottom line is this. The combination of knowing what exists, what works, and what actually matters is one of the biggest strategic advantages you will have right now. Skill number 3, be human. As machines learn to mimic our human thinking, our job is not to battle it out with them or see who wins. I believe our job is to double down on what makes us human. Every sustainable business out there runs on 3 things: people, process, and technology. AI is getting really good at technology part. You have seen that example. But people and process, that's where it gets extremely tricky and challenging. Know that the solutions you will be building as data practitioners will have the power to change how organizations operate. But the change is never easy. As an organization grows, people build tools, they establish process or multiple processes, and sometimes they get attached to the way things are done. That's why adoption of solution is sometimes or often more difficult and challenging than building the solution itself. So be empathetic. Understand the problem that your audience is actually living with and build the solution accordingly. Understand that people embrace what enables them and they resist what threatens them. What you will realize is adoption is often not even about the technology. And also remember, the best solution in the world means absolutely nothing if people don't use it. Now, none of these skills I have mentioned are new, and on their own, they might not even seem extraordinary. But when you put all these 3 skills together, they multiply each other. That's when you stop being just another smart person in the room, and you transform into somebody who very meaningfully and strategically drives an organization or a company or a business forward. And that is exactly what leaders and businesses are looking for today. So start preparing for that. Before I close, I have one request for each one of you. Pay it forward. Let me repeat, pay it forward. No matter where your career takes you, make time for the next person in line. A younger sibling, a classmate, someone in your community, or a student halfway across the world who just needs to see that it's all possible. I believe we all got here standing on the shoulders of giants. And now it's our turn to be those shoulders for the people who are next in line. Because the impact we have on others will outlast any and every title and achievement you have on your resume. With that, to the class of 2026, the world is waiting for what you are going to build. So go do something remarkable, and congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harshit. Those are amazing words, so thank you for bringing them to us. So next we have, well, your own speakers, Marisa Fujimoto and Annie Staker. So Marisa and someone else. Yeah, let's welcome them.
At the 2022 Winter Olympics, hockey star and Seattle Torrent player Hilary Knight scored a goal against Canada in the gold medal game. Unfortunately, it was not enough. The USA lost 3-2, earning a silver medal. This was Knight's 3rd Olympic silver medal, but she had wanted gold. My silver medal was not getting an internship last summer. Instead, I continued my research position full-time over the summer, honing my skills at model building and team building. Hillary Knight still got a silver medal in the Olympics, and she moved into second place for most career Olympic goals among American women. Though not the best case scenario of our dreams, she and I both had a lot to be proud of. As we graduate from the MSDS program, let us recognize that we are a cohort full of strong, ambitious people. It takes grit to look defeat in the face and still continue trying, but we do. During this time, we were lucky to have the support of our family, our friends, and other support systems. Let's take a moment to say thank you to them. I took the lessons I learned from my internship search and applied them as I looked for full-time jobs. As part of this process, I participated in interview prep sessions led by Marissa and our friend Alyssa. This time, my job search was met with much more success.
As we graduate, I'd like to take the opportunity to reflect on where we were 2 years ago and what it took to get to tonight. We came from different states, different countries, stages of our careers, and with different skills. Many of us faced extra challenges. Some worked full-time throughout parts of the program. Alicia, Edgar, Harshal, Praneeth, William, and others, you guys are incredible. The international students faced unique challenges coming to our country, awash in a rising tide of xenophobia. For some of us, this program was a focused year and a half surrounded by familiar faces, while others took a part-time track and said goodbye to friends along the way and made new ones, all while balancing other obligations. I believe the diversity of this program is one of its greatest strengths. We gain perspective on different ways of thinking and living. Our faculty maintained a space for us to find common ground and collaborate. They put together a curriculum that was flexible and could meet us where we were. While I was privileged to get to know many of my classmates on a personal and professional level, there's still so much I don't know. I want to take a moment to acknowledge any hidden suffering in this room, uncertainty about jobs, the absence of a loved one, struggles with mental or physical illness, anxiety about the state of the world. This program is a special place, a place where we have the privilege of opportunity. Olympic athletes train their hardest to master their sport. We stayed up late studying and applying for jobs so that Adrian wouldn't regret admitting us. We organized study sessions in the MSDS space before every midterm. We stayed up late putting the finishing touches on our projects and presentations. I'd like to take a moment to zoom out from the bubble of our program, to ground ourselves and acknowledge the wider state of the world. Today, there are people digging through the rubble of their homes, grieving at a mass grave. These same people might struggle to find their next meal, clean water, access to health care, a place to sleep, or just a reason to keep going.
What can we do in the face of this? It's easy to feel small in the face of such systemic issues. In addition to that, we're under economic pressure. Algorithms eat at our attention. Prejudice and cynicism warp public discourse. The smart money move is to stop caring, to become resume-optimized versions of ourselves. But what did Hillary Knight do? She never lost sight of her goal. She kept training, she stayed healthy. Winning on the world stage was something that truly mattered to her, and she chased it. She brought us joy and inspired us, and she did all of this while also being a role model off the court. She might not have saved the world by playing hockey, but she did something meaningful by showing us what's possible with grit and guts.
What meaning can we find with our careers? How can we change the world in a way that we're proud of? Maybe we don't have to solve all the problems at once, but instead we can start with the basics. We can be decent coworkers and managers. We can raise our voices when our work doesn't align with our values. We can find meaningful missions. Many of us will work with AI. For better or worse, our careers will follow in the arc of this incredible technology. We'll have to adapt constantly and pivot with the waves of change that disrupt this industry. As we progress in our careers and become the change makers, I challenge you. Let's make AI that does more for the world than justify layoffs.
Whatever it looks like, we hope you never lose sight of your values, your true north, that energy and creativity in class projects, the decency we showed each other in this community, like Richard, who drove me home from class last year, Mina, who helped me with our stats homework, or Maya, who hosted food-themed parties. My favorite was the tomato party.
I also love the tomato party. I hope we can all find our own inner tomato parties to bring to the world. And whatever your goals are after this program, wherever your true north leads you, I hope you find meaning in something more than the job title. There's so much more to do. Please believe it.
And as for Hillary Knight, she returned this year for her 5th and final Olympics. With 2 minutes left in the gold medal game against Canada, she tied the game 1-1. The U.S. went on to win the game in overtime, and Hillary Knight got her hard-earned gold medal. In her demeanor, you could almost see the triumph of achievement, an achievement that had required ultimate persistence, hard work, and skill.
Okay, Marisa, Annie, thank you. Thank you so much. Well, it's great you did this. So now we are ready, I guess, for the most exciting part, the graduation, the actual graduation ceremony. So I guess we need to line up, right? So, yeah, so we're ready to move to that. So thank you.
All right, everybody, you ready for this? It's going to be a good time. All right. Mithul Raj Anand Tilagapathy. Saikiran Babu Anagi. Praneeth Srinatha Bhatt. Balaji Bhupal. Kyle Bretherton. Clayton Brock. Aditya Chopra. Alicia Twang. Rohith C.R. Marcus Anthony Curry. Smeet Yogesh Dediya. Gabrielle Diaz. Arnav Dixit. Marissa Hoi Fujimoto. Sagarika Ghosh. Vanya Glisick. Hua Xing Huang. Sarah Innes. Rinny Jane. Sanya Katiyar. Jennifer Angela Kim. Edgar Oswaldo Lopez. Ayush Mal. Aravind Manavalan. Erin Renee Mee. Alyssa Mel. Jacob Miller. Srimant Mishra. Arjita Nima. Anthony Nguyen. Mina Yasu Nielsen. Richard Agostino Pelagno. Akshat Pandey. Eric Peterson. Kevin Feel. Akshan Krithik Panvel. Akshay Ravi. Ryan J. Richards. Madison Theodora Sanchez Foreman. Julian Sanders. Jay Pavan Sagavi. Vijay Balaji Sankara Narayanan. Ridesh Rajendra Sawan. Harshil Shah. Ryosha Sharma. Joshua James Sun. Annie Staker. Maya Jean Strayer. Hari Haran Suresh Kumar. Janshaya Usambayeva. Isabella Maria Valdiza Caspar. Reddy Kaja Valeru. Duty Sandesh Vartak. Vaishnavi Verma. All right, everybody, you get to listen to me one more time. Every year I teach for the MSDS program, I learn something new. For example, this year, I learned what a bolide was. I also learned that one way to have challenging conversations around sticky ethical issues is to ask specific questions and listen to answers with curiosity. If we trust others to participate with integrity, and then we rise to the occasion ourselves. We tell our students when they first arrive that every student we invite here is here because we saw something in their application that grabbed us. And that is entirely true. Every student sitting in these chairs in front of me is here because we believed from their application that they were capable, that they would thrive with us, and that they would be excellent additions to our community of data scientists. We read your essays, we looked at your resumes, and then we hoped that you'd take a chance on us. Thank you for taking a chance on us. Another thing I learned this year is that we pick pretty well. We have amazing students. They are smart and they are kind. They step up for each other. They take on projects like making advertising posters. They complete challenging and interesting capstone projects. They design and run events like Ethics Night. I also learned that our students don't stop being amazing people when they graduate. Our alumni become leaders, and they give back to the community. They come back and host capstone projects, they hire our new graduates, they run hackathons, and sometimes they speak at commencement. All of that is truly a gift, and I count myself lucky to work within this program. Still, we can't assume that MSDS shouldn't change anything. One challenging conversation that I've been having with just about everybody, including almost every speech this evening, is how we incorporate AI into our teaching and courses. Like it or not, AI is changing the way that we work. It's changing the way that we teach, and it's changing the way that we interact with each other. MSDS will continue to change to reflect this new reality. We will evolve and grow. But I don't think AI changes everything. For example, I don't think it changes how important our fundamental data science skills are. After all, AI is built on data. And if we want good AI, we'd better have good data. This is not the time to reduce your high standards for data management, statistical rigor, or human-centered data science. Instead, it is a good time to become a leader in the space by leaning on this expertise developed in the MSDS program. I also don't think it changes how important our community is. We're stronger with each other. We're stronger when we use our strengths to support each other. We're stronger when we celebrate each other's successes. This is a good time to draw on the collaborative and communication skills you've honed in this program. So I have a charge to this graduating class. Go forth and hold tight to your data science skills and even tighter to your community. Show the world how powerful good data science is when it's done right. Lead with the data and let the AI follow. Ask questions, listen to the answers with curiosity, be kind, lead with integrity, rise to the occasion. You guys got this. And with that, I think that's all we have. I will truly miss you guys, but I think we have a good dinner waiting for us. So, thank you.